What's up guys? Coming at you here with another video on our best sites to see. This time we're focusing on St. Petersburg in Russia. So the first city that we went into in Russia was St. Petersburg, and we had a great time touring all the different areas of the city. We're going to go over our top 5 must-see sites and what you have to do when you visit this wonderful city. Starting with number 5, we're going to go with the Peterhof Palace. The Peterhof Palace is a palace complex commissioned by Peter the Great. The inside of the palace is pretty beautiful. We didn't spend a lot of time on the inside part of this. We spent most of our time on the outside, touring through the gardens, because the big draw at Peterhof is the gardens and fountains and that whole outdoor area of the palace complex. So when you arrive, if you arrive at the top in the upper gardens, you can tour through the fountains up there, and then you can tour down into the lower gardens and see the magnificent big fountains down below, just behind the palace, and then walk through the gardens, which are massive, and see all the different fountains and whatnot that are located back there. And then from there, you can take the boat back to St. Petersburg. Peterhof Palace is about 45 minutes to an hour away from St. Petersburg, so you do need to either take the metro or a boat ride there, or you can book a cab as well, which is what we did. But it's a really beautiful palace, definitely worth a visit, and that is our number 5. Number 4, coming at you with St. Isaac's Cathedral. Now the reason this one makes it so high on our list is because not only is it an absolutely beautiful cathedral, but it's also a museum now. St. Isaac's was originally a cathedral, but changed into a museum by the Soviet government in 1931. It's a museum that's now dedicated to St. Isaac of Dalmatia, a patron saint of Peter the Great. But it has an unbelievable view of the city. So there's nothing really tall in St. Petersburg, because they can't build things really tall because of the ground essentially being so moist. I'm not going to go into specifics, but they can't build tall buildings essentially. So this is one of the tallest buildings you can get into, and then you can go right up to the very top of the dome and get a magnificent view of the city. So that is your best spot to get the best view of the city. We have a video here that you can click on the link, and that will take you to show you exactly how to do it, how to visit it, what to expect, and all the details. Number 3 is the Church of the Saviour on Spilled Blood. Church of the Saviour on Spilled Blood was built by Alexander III for his father, Alexander II. I will take you to a clip of the video from one of our other days and tell you a little bit more about what this church is all about. Alright, I have all sorts of fun facts about this and the history of it. So this was built in memory of Alexander II. Alexander III, his son, built it for him because in this area where this church is built was where his father was in a carriage basically, and they tried to assassinate him and threw a grenade. The grenade blew up, didn't hurt him, but he got out.
To investigate.
Exactly, to investigate. And then they threw another grenade, and that grenade killed him on this spot. And so they built this church here on this spot. So Alexander III built it in memorial of Alexander II. And it's stunning, absolutely beautiful. One of the reasons you need to visit this church is because it is so unbelievably unique looking. If you're visiting Moscow as well, you'll get to see St. Basil's Cathedral there, which is going to blow you away just as much. But this one has just the most magnificent domes outside. It's just really, really incredible. And on the inside, it's full of mosaics. So the whole interior of the building is done with little tiny mosaic stones, and it's absolutely unbelievable in the inside. So just a really easy visit, but an unbelievably stunning cathedral inside and out. Number 2 is Catherine Palace. Catherine Palace for us was a better one than Peterhof Palace, mainly because the interior of Catherine Palace is stunning, and the complex on the exterior as well. The difference being Peterhof has the gardens, and Catherine Palace has the palace in the interior, and of course the Amber Room. Catherine Palace is a palace located in Pushkin, outside of the city. Again, I think it's about a 45-minute drive to an hour to get there, depending on traffic. It is the summer residence of the Russian Tsars, or was, and it was constructed for Catherine I. Again, I'll take you to one of our other videos and give you a little more information about the palace and show you some videos from the palace. But this was our number 2 and one of the favorite sites we had in the entire city because it was just magnificent. The palace it's like going to Versailles. It's basically like the Russian Versailles. Unbelievably beautiful. So much history there. A must see, but you have to book it early in advance, because if you don't book it in advance, we will be lining up for like 2 hours outside. Best bet, book a tour. You can try and book tickets to via the website online, but book a tour, really easy. They take care of your transportation, give you a tour guide, take you through, take you back. Everything's all taken care of. That was our most expensive visit, but highly worth it, just to avoid all the lines, because it gets crazy busy. And number 1 is the Hermitage Museum, or Winter Palace. Now, the reason this one is number 1 over Catherine Palace is because, well, really they both are basically our number 1s. These are our 2 favorite things in the entire city to see. But the Hermitage is one of the most magnificent museums you will see in the entire world. It is the 2nd biggest museum in the entire world, next to the Louvre, which is number 1. But it has so many unbelievably beautiful pieces of art from so many famous artists, whether that's Russian or that's French, Dutch, whatever. They've got a little bit of everything, and it's divided into different areas you can visit to see the different pieces of art and different collections. And someone actually on our channel here said that if you were walking at an average of, I think it was 5 kilometers an hour, and walk through all the hallways, it would take you 5 hours just to walk through all the hallways, never mind even looking at anything or stopping. So a massive museum, and a must-see. So this was Catherine the Great's Winter Palace, which she started the art collection in 1764, and just sort of the center part, and you can see it's a huge complex, and it's been expanded many times to have multiple other buildings all around in the area. The other reason we put this one above Catherine Palace is because technically this is also a palace. So while you're touring through all this magnificent art, you're also seeing the interior of a beautiful palace. So they don't have rooms set up quite the same way with furniture and whatnot, although even there are some rooms inside. So really, this is our favorite site in the entire city. But for the most part, the top 5, you cannot go wrong. Every single one of them is absolutely beautiful, and there are many other sights to see in the city. So many beautiful sights to see. Can't even list them all. We just wanted to pick our favorite top 5 that we visited. So feel free in the comments below, list some of your favorite things and must-sees that we have to see. We've probably seen a number of them. Take a look back at some of our vlogs through St. Petersburg. We did one on every single day we were there to see all the different sites, like the Cathedral of Kazan, which Our Lady of Kazan, which was also beautiful, and a really good sight to see. Everything is within walking distance too. Outside of the palaces that are way outside of the city, you can virtually walk everywhere. That concludes our top 5 sites to see in St. Petersburg. Again, there are so many beautiful things to see, but that is the top 5 for us for our visit. And we hope to hear back from you guys some other sites that we might have missed, or some other sites that other people should consider. We'll see you guys in the next one. Top 5 list from Moscow.